Yo, what's up? Welcome to the channel. I know we got a lot of new followers that popped out. What's good? This your boy Hood. We represent Hood Films. This the brand. This the logo. We got Hood Films around. What's popping with everybody in the world? Let's let you see that logo. Yeah, Hood Films. Yeah, we out here. Man, I just want to highlight y'all about Katt Williams. My man blew up the internet yesterday talking on Cat Shannon Sharp show, and he just went into a whole nother realm. And I'm kind of glad he did because this is a new year, and so it's almost like a message to everybody, like, hey, don't hold them back. This is your life. You know what I'm saying? So why be phony? Why be around phony people? Why let people make you act phony or feel like you should be phony? Be yourself, speak your truth, and talk your stuff. And it looked like that's exactly what he did, man. Let's just listen to a glimpse of one of his little scenarios that he described. It's already going.
I camp like if I had 35 people in my camp, right? I believe that other than 4 jobs, I believe that a woman is better at any of them jobs than any man could be. Okay. So 10 of these jobs, no man can work because I'd rather a female be there. If I gotta smell anybody's breath, I want it to be hers. I don't want none of you crusty. So what I'm saying is, if in a staffing issue, I'm gonna have 75% women just because I prefer them. Right. I don't prefer to hear 2 guys talking in the corner. I prefer to hear 2 ladies talking in the corner. I don't care what they're talking about.
So he got all kind of scenarios that he described on this show, and he aired out everybody. And this is actually one where he talked about, did he give a loan to the Migos? It's another little segment.
Really not doing it for the gram. It's not for any of that. I'm just doing it because it's good to do. I appreciate that.
Well, we ain't gonna even listen to that one. But you catch that video on Shannon Sharp show. Y'all gotta watch it. I'm gonna try to put a link to the whole show in the description. But it's like the entire internet is going crazy. We got Faison Love responding to him as he called him every name from gorilla to no actor to he weak, and why he take his shirt off in every movie. He went crazy. It's like
rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made all lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came in his first year in L.A., he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definition. They rock with who they rock with, and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. What I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life. So no. Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. Like, you gotta be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is. But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not gonna have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than... Yo.
So now you get a whole glimpse that bro is not playing with these people. He been around them at some point, but today is the reckoning day. He dropping bombs on everybody. If you weak, if you ain't got no skills, if you soft, if you just out there playing games, he throwing bricks. And that right there is what 2024 look like is adding up to be in the first couple of weeks, is at least. You know what I'm saying? So, as for me, I've been putting out my movies and putting out music in recent days, recent months. I've been putting out music. I'm gonna try to put some of the music videos on here as I pay for the beats. Right now it's unreleased music, but it's stuff I've been doing in my own life, and I'm like, yo, I'm putting this out here. I know that rap is supposed to be such for young dudes, but it's like I got the skill and I got the love for hip hop. I grew up in hip hop, so I'm not a Dusty's person or a Steppers guy, and I grew up in hip hop, so it's a part of my life. And now that the internet and the computers is around, you can make it at home. So it's like I'm going to do that. So I can understand where you put a lot of effort into something, even years, and then you got other guys that's like willy nilly. They might even be more successful, you more financially advanced than you, but they don't put the effort and hunger into the thing like you. So you're looking at them and you saying, y'all playing. But they already got the name recognition. They already famous. People will love them. People will support them, and you just little old you. So Katt Williams say 100 city tours. This is his 100th special, and all these city tours he's been going in. So he's built his brand. He's built a controlled, structured brand in the world. And so now it's time for him to get the accolade from it and then call out the guys who would consider his competition. He's saying that they ain't funny. He's saying that they not good. Now they responded and they coming back saying this, that, and the third. But the reality of it is that it's competition time. It's like when Michael Jordan was playing against all those other teams. At one point they tried to beat him up and get physical with him and kick his ass. And so he had to go back to his people and be like, they not letting me get to the rim easy. They punching me, poking me, grabbing me, and what's up? And he can't fight 30 teams with 12 fucking people on each team. So it's like, what do I do? So they say you got to work out, you got to get strong, you got to go back and get your strength up, and that's what he did. And then he came back and look at him now, triple repeats. I mean, double repeat, double, triple. You know what I'm trying to say? 2 3-peats. So my whole point about it is that that's what comes with hard work and dedication. And Michael Jordan is the best at the best. So you see how Katt Williams, which in my personal opinion, you might got your own opinion, and I want you to tell me in the comment section. I think he the funniest guy out there. I mean, it's nobody funnier than him. Now you do got Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, and I look at those guys as elite comics. But as far as a comic that's like a comic that you would probably see, because I'm not paying $500, $600 to go see those two dudes, but I pay the fees to see this guy. But he's just more of a regular dude, and I look at those guys kind of like that they have transcended from the top 5 level. Dave Chappelle got a Mark Twain degree award, and then you got Chris Rock, who's almost 60 years old, so he's not really like a street comic no more like he was in his young years, and they command a different type of respect for their shows, And plus, Dave Chappelle got played back in the day. You know his story. But when I think of raw comic, that's just going to make me bust out laughing. A real dude that I believe is a person who I probably would have, came in contact in my town. Like it's guys like him in my city. It would probably be Katt Williams. So I think he's like at the top of the list. And there's other guys that's in the game, but I don't think they rock on him because his comedy is so raw and unique. But the fact that he went up against all these people and told them what it was, man, it's crazy. From Ricky Smiley, he said this guy's not a good actor. All he do is wear a dress. Name a movie he wasn't wearing a dress in. Ricky Smiley came back and said, yo, all I did that for was to put food on my family. It's really crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like for him, it's the first couple of weeks. And Shannon Sharp is so bogus for dropping this at this point because he like, okay, everybody then ate their turkey. You got your gifts. You celebrated the New Year, sipped your little alcohol. Okay, now let me hit y'all over the head with this real interview with some real shit. And everybody he named is people who we all know and love. We got our famous, we got care for them. You know what I'm saying? Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey. He mentioned them in his stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we know who these people are. We've been watching them for years, but it seemed like at some point they crossed Katt Williams at some level. And then even Cedric the Entertainer. That's like the biggest headline of it all. He actually went out there and stole a joke from him. So you got people putting up both the jokes side by side to see which person was telling the truth about who stole what. And the jokes to me are kind of similar, but not too similar. But Katt Williams saying that Cedric the Entertainer talked to him directly after one of his shows and told him he liked the joke. And then he called that comedian Scruncho, which is one of his friends from back in the day, and told him. And then Cedric the Entertainer happened to be doing Scruncho joke right after that, which is like a pop locking joke. And Scruncho said a joke where he would be like, two guys are going to fight, and then they would get up there and do some round, and from the audience would get on stage as if he's going to fight, but they'd put the gloves on and be breakdancing, pop locking like in the 70s and 80s. And he said before he knew it, Cedric the Entertainer was doing that joke, having his own little element to it, putting the gloves on and doing the dance on the stage. And he was like, he came backstage and told me he liked the joke. But I guess said in Cedric said he never did nothing like that. But, this is they claim. They wasn't celebs at that time, so maybe he thought they wasn't going to make it, or he just thought that I'm just going to do this. Maybe that's what they do in the comic game. Like, I don't know. But I'm just saying that came out now, and it's like, just like with a lot of the females screaming, yo, this happened to me 30 years ago, and now the people are going down for it. This is the same thing like that. Kevin Hart, Katt Williams saying, yo, this happened back in the day, and y'all going down for it. I'm not finna let it just be something that I live with or think about. I'm finna put y'all out on the blast, and if y'all got something to say about it, talk about it. And a lot of the guys not even responding, but a lot of them are. A lot of them feel like, yo, what you doing? Like even he said, mother sucker. I forgot that can be Michael Blackson. He said that guy, not even African, but he has to do an African accent. He said, I told him one time back in the day, I said, man, you need to go ahead and step your game up and get you a school in Africa. And he gave him all this advice. And he said the guy went out and did just what he told him to do. Now he don't like him. Now they not talking no more. So these kind of relationships happen in friendships and groups of people or careers and shit like that. But then you got somebody like him he would consider himself on the outside of those crews and cliques. He calling them out. Like, okay, all y'all clicked up. He said all 9 of these guys or 7 of these guys, these comedians got the same wife. She looked the same, and she don't give interviews for 20 years. And I'm like, damn, this nigga said that. And all these motherfuckers, when you put the photo up there, all of them got the same kind of looking wife. I don't never hear nothing from those people, but I don't follow their world like that. But it's not like it's like TMZ popped them up there once a week or once a month. So it's like for a guy who really felt violated by them, he really put their ass on blast. And now they got to speak up on it. It's no way around it, because you got your fan base that's going to look at you like, damn, you did that to Katt. That's the thing about public opinion. Like if somebody says something about you, you kind of do have to respond, because it's going to lean into that person's direction if you don't. Now that person got leverage, if you will, because you let some message be out there about you and you don't say nothing about it. And that's kind of stupid, but it's the way the world. Some people don't want confrontation. Some people are not confrontational. Some people can't say nothing because they don't want to mess their brand up. And there's 45 different reasons that people just don't respond back to stuff. But technically you should, because you got somebody putting a message about you out there, and if it ain't true, you need to say something, because those guys all got brands and careers and shit like that, millionaires, and you dissing my wife, you saying my wife light skinned, and all me and these guys together in cliques. What if they used to be in a clique and they ain't down no more? What if they was a clique, but they actually like you, but you dissed them and they even know you ain't like them? It's so many dynamics. But he feel like, I ain't fucking with none of y'all. I'm not down with none of y'all. I ain't trying to kick it with none of y'all. Fuck all y'all. And that's a competition thing in the industry. So say, for instance, they all comics and they all vying for the same people, which is the audience. So it's like, for them, I don't like them. And then, like he said, Chrysler say some foul shit about Lincoln, about Tesla, or Tesla might say some foul shit about Toyota to sell their stuff. So I'm not dissing those guys. I'm just saying this competition. He asked Shannon Sharp, he said, you remember when you was playing against the football team against you, and they had all these stats and all these times and everything about their name, about them. He said, but when you stood against them on that line, that's when it mattered. And when it mattered is when you stood up against them and you showed them it didn't matter what it said on paper. Right here in the flesh is when I'm going to show you what it really is. So it's like a whole bunch of that, man. And I'm like just tweaking about it because I'm a Katt fan and I've been rocking with him for so many years. So to hear him going so bonkers at them, it's like, damn, bro, relax. But you can't relax when you're in competition with people and they crossed you. And a lot of these stuff happened so many years ago that he just never got over it. He never forgave them. And he said, I even forgave Katt. I even forgave Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey. He said, that was 10 years ago. He said, but he get on your show right here and he said, it never happened. Like, what the fuck? He said, so, people got to, I guess, set the record straight or tell their piece. Like, they're not going to just let anything go down the pipeline and they don't say shit. So you can look at Katt Williams as one of those people. He's just not finna just let it live. He going to have a problem. So I fuck with Katt. I know y'all rock with Katt. So we going to talk more about Katt on this show because he one of the best. And let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know which part of the video you want to see. Let me know which part of the video you liked. And we're going to talk about it right here at Hood Films. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. I'm going to get at y'all in a minute. We got new music under Youssef 2 times. You got to go to YouTube and go to Apple Music, Spotify. Youssef 2 times. Peace.